同学们好，欢迎上课。Welcome to class, everybody. 今天我们要说一下这个这字。这个字呢，可以在我们的课本的第37页找到它的那个 grammar explanation. So today we're going to talk about this character 这 and its explanation in your textbook is on page 37, which is actually in lesson 2. You may remember that is one of the lessons that we skipped because I hate it otherwise. However, this 这 is super important, so we need to take a little time to talk about it. Before we get rolling, a couple things. This same character can be pronounced in many different ways, but the way that we care about is this 这 blank tone pronunciation. Okay, so this same character can be pronounced 卓 or 柱, or there's a few others as well. But the one that we are dealing with is 这. Another thing is that this same character, depending on computer fonts, sometimes is shown differently. But this that you see on your screen right now is the one that you want. Okay, so it looks somewhat like 看. A Chinese person wouldn't see it that way because this stroke is a straight horizontal stroke and not a 撇. Okay, so that's a 横 and not a 撇. So we've got 三个横，然后一个木，这样. So that's our 这 character. 怎么用呢？我们一起看。第一个用法 you can use it to indicate that an action is currently ongoing. 比如说，喂，我在上着课呢。喂，我在上着课呢。Or 不好意思，我哥不在，他正跑着步。他正跑着步。Or 他们看着电影。他们看着电影。那么这些句子呢，什么意思呢？ In all of these cases, we're showing that an action is currently ongoing right now. So, in the first case, 我在上着课呢. It's I am attending class right now. You may notice 我在上课呢 is a perfectly good sentence without this 这. We don't need it in that sentence. 我在上着课呢 or 我在上课呢. Both of those are fine. And in fact, you may remember this from Chinese 1. We don't need the 上 either. 我上课呢 or we don't need the 呢. 我在上课. All of those are perfectly good sentences. 好 second sentence. 不好意思，我哥不在，他正跑着步。Again, 他正跑步也可以，也可以，他正跑步也行。或者他在跑步，他在跑着步，都可以，都可以。然后他们看着电影。Now we can't take out the 这 here, because if we did that, it would mean that there's nothing indicating that this is currently ongoing. But the moral is this 在正在呢 and 这 all of those are all optional so long as you have one of them to indicate that this is currently happening. So in the first two of these sentences, if we took out the 这, they're still good sentences. Or if we took out the 在 or the 正 or the ne, all of those would be good sentences. And they all mean the same thing. They all mean that this thing is happening right now. I am in class, he is running, and they are watching a movie. Now with the third one, because there's no other word, there's no 在, there's no 正, there's no 正在, there's no ne, so we couldn't take out the 这 in this case. Another thing to point out while we're here. 上着课。上着课，跑着步，看着电影. Where does 这 come after a verb? And if it's a VO, still after the verb. Okay? So, 上着课, not 上课着. 跑着步, not 跑步着. Alright? 看着电影, you wouldn't say 看电影着. Alright, so the 这 has to come directly after a verb, including if it's a VO. So, this is our first use of 这, indicating that an action is happening right now. Oftentimes, it's optional. 第二个用法 describing a constant situation. And 3 words that we're going to use frequently when talking about this, and these will come up in our class multiple times, is 放,挂,摆. 放,挂, and 摆. These guys are going to come up many a time. 明白吗? 挂, you already know, is to hang something. 放, you already know, is to place something. 摆 is also, it's similar to 放, 摆, but 摆 is always like laying it out for people to see. Okay, so like if you laid something out on the table. So usually it's more than one thing. Okay, usually it's like you've got books that are laid out on the table. Okay, or something like that. 好，我们看一下一些例句。冰箱里放着一碗汤。冰箱我们学过，冰箱就是我们的 refrigerator， 对吧 ？Icebox, if you will。冰箱里就是在冰箱里面放着一碗汤，什么意思？就是冰箱里面有一碗汤。It's the same meaning, but it's not exactly the same. 这个放着就是说 it is placed there. All right? So, in the fridge, there is placed a bowl of soup. 冰箱里放着一碗汤。再看，卧室里挂着很多衣服。卧室里挂着很多衣服。卧室里就是在卧室里面挂着很多衣服，就是说 in the bedroom there are hanging a lot of clothes. 好的，下一个，墙上，这个墙我们没学过，墙就是一个 wall， 墙上挂着一张照片 ，there's a picture hanging on the wall。好，下一个，桌子上摆着很多裤子。桌子上摆着很多裤子，就是 there are a lot of pants laid down on the table。好，还有她穿着一条蓝色的裙子。她穿着一条蓝色的裙子。Let's talk about this last one。穿我们已经学过，我们去年学过，这个穿就是 to wear， 对吧？ Can you say 她穿一条蓝色的裙子？ You could, but you'd be more likely to say 她穿着。Why? Because we're describing a constant situation, right? It's not really something that this person is doing, right? They're not taking an action to wear the clothing. It's just a thing that is the case right now. So, we're going to use this 这 in more often than not. And in fact, you know that 穿 also has the meaning of put on. 比如说，他把他的衣服穿上 he put on his clothes. Versus 他穿着衣服 he is wearing clothes. You hear that difference? So we use this 这 when we're describing a constant situation. Okay? So in this case, it's she is wearing a blue dress. 她穿着一条蓝色的裙子。可以吗？好，下一个。这儿啊 we can use it to talk about simultaneous continuous actions. And one word that's going to come up, which has come up in our class before, but we're making a point of it now, 拿, to pick up or to hold in your hand. 他们坐着吃饭。他们坐着吃饭。他们坐着吃饭。这里有2个动词 two verbs, 对吧？他们坐着吃饭。就是说 one of them is a continuous thing that is ongoing. In fact, they both are. Continuous, simultaneous actions. What are they doing? They are both sitting and eating. They're doing both of those things. 他们坐着吃饭. Now, this might sound familiar. You may remember something from a while back. 一边，对吧？一边。他们一边做一边吃饭。That works too, but they don't mean exactly the same thing. 一边做一边吃饭 would be talking about two actions that are happening, but not necessarily continuous ones. For example, 坐 can mean to sit or to sit down. If you said 他们一边做一边吃饭, the image that I have in my brain is of a person who is eating as they go from standing up to sitting down. Whereas if we wanted to say they are sitting while they eat, then we could say 他们坐着吃饭. So these two, the 一边一边 or 一面一面, does not mean the same thing as this 这 when used in this way. 他们坐着吃饭. 他们坐着吃饭. Let's look at a couple more examples. 有时候老师让我们站着上课. 有时候老师让我们站着上课. First part's no problem. 站着上课是什么呢？就是说 you have class while standing up. You're standing up when you have class. When you attend class, 对吧？站着上课。好，你喜欢听着播客跑步吗？听着播客，播客是一个 podcast. It comes from English, kind of. 播客 podcast, maybe. 听着播客跑步吗？什么意思呢？就是说 do you like to listen to podcasts while you run? That is, you're running, do you like to listen to podcasts while you do so? 好，最后一个，我朋友拿着 that's the same 拿 that we mentioned earlier, 拿，他拿着2双筷子走过来了。我朋友拿着2双筷子走过来了。Remember, 拿着 is to hold in your hand, so he's holding 2 pairs of chopsticks and walked over. Okay, couple things I want to point out. Once again, remember that we've got this VO business going on, so in any case where you use 这, it comes directly after the verb. For example, here, 听着播客. We don't say 听播客着, right? The 着 comes directly after our verb 听. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing I wanted to point out, 这个了 是 show a completed action. What we're talking about here is something that has happened in the past, which illustrates a point which you already knew. Chinese doesn't have tense. There's no tense in Chinese. So, 我朋友拿着2双筷子走过来了. My friend walked over while holding 2 pairs of chopsticks. Holding 2 pairs of chopsticks, my friend walked over. All of those things happened in the past, and yet we don't care because past doesn't matter. There's no tense in Chinese. What we care about is that 走过来 is a completed action, and that while that was happening, there was a continuous thing going on, and that continuous thing was 拿着2双筷子. Another thing I want to point out, in most situations, when we use this 这 to talk about simultaneous continuous actions, one thing is the main thing that you're doing, and the other thing is not. Let's look back at our first example sentence here. 他们坐着吃饭. What is the main thing we care about? We care about them eating, but we're saying that they do it seated. So in English, we might say this as sitting, they ate, which sounds kind of stilted, but that's okay. Or in normal English, we would say they ate sitting down, right? Second example sentence here. 有时候老师让我们站着上课. Sometimes our teacher makes us stand and have class. But the main thing we're talking about is the having of the class. The 站着 is providing the background. 你喜欢听着播客跑步吗? Do you like to listen to podcasts while running? The running is the main thing that you're doing. 听着播客 is kind of background. 我朋友拿着2双筷子走过来了. Main verb 走过来. 拿着2双筷子 is telling us more information. So we can see that oftentimes, typically, when we do this, we are talking about one thing being the main thing and the other thing being the secondary thing. That makes sense if you think back to use number 2 that we looked at. Remember that use number 2, which we looked at a moment ago, was all about describing a constant situation. So, when we're talking about continuous actions, what we're really talking about is a situation or a setting by which the verb is happening, right? In what way are they eating? They're eating sitting down. In what way are they having class? They're having class standing up. In what way are they running? They're running while listening to a podcast, okay? So what we see is this 这 is showing us something that is continuous, but also something that is like the setting or the background oftentimes. It's something that is constantly true during the duration of our main verb. If that was a little bit confusing, don't worry, we're going to see a bunch of examples going forward and we're going to practice this a bunch because this 这 is really important. But here are the three main takeaways. Let's review our three main uses. First, to show that something's happening currently, right now. 我说着中文. I am speaking Chinese. And that can be combined with 在, 正在, 正, ne, any of those guys. Number two was to describe a constant situation. And most often in our class, that's going to use 放, 挂, or 摆. 比如说我的卧室里面挂着很多衣服 right? There's a lot of clothes hanging in my room. Or continuous actions. 他们坐着吃饭 right? They're sitting and eating. That is, they're eating while sitting. So we can see these three guys, and they're all related because they're all talking about things that are continually going on. All right? That restricts it a lot. One other thing, 这 will never come right next to a 了 because these two are the same part of speech. We call them aspect markers. So we won't be using those right next to each other in times when 了 is showing a completed action, which makes sense. If an action is ongoing and continuous, then it's not a completed action, and we can't use 了 for that. Not in that sense. Now, if we were using show change 了, we could use that one. 好，你们会了吗？如果有问题，你给我发电子邮件吧。If you have any questions, you can send me an email. 再见啊。You can make this guy a little face. There he is.